Hey everybody and welcome back to the Pro Antagonist channel. We're going to do another anime tier list for fall new 2022 anime, but just the impressions. I haven't seen any episodes of anything yet. This is just based on the impressions I got from reading the basic summary, looking at the trailer, haven't really even paid attention to the scores that much. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with Chainsaw Man, which I think everyone pretty much can kind of agree seems like an S tier anime. I feel like there's too much hype around it not to really throw it up there. But of course, aside from Chainsaw Man, pretty much all the new anime aren't really the highlight of the season. Really kind of looking at a lot of different anime that are kind of obscure, kind of like new, but not really all that big of deals and stuff like that. Really, it's kind of a lot of sequels. This is a sequel season. We've got a lot of little anime, but they're not really like sort of the high caliber anime on these lists. Got a lot of different things. We got another one called Blue Lock, which is a sportsy looking one. And I'm not gonna bash it too hard, but it doesn't really kind of give me the oh, this is gonna be anime of the season feel. It kind of seems like and this could be a decent soccer anime type thing. I'm also not that into sports anime, a little bit out of my normal zone. So I'm going to throw it in C. Now we got The Little Lies We All Tell. This one is probably the one of the lower anime on the list in terms of actual viewership, at least thus far. We don't really have a lot of information because anime just came out. But yeah, I'm looking at it. I've actually been thinking that this seems like an interesting premise. The idea is that there are these four girls who can't tell each other all of their secrets about themselves. And they don't really dive a lot into all of what that is. It just kind of has a weird little slice of life, interesting mystery type, sort of maybe kind of like Kaguya-sama Love is War, but in sort of a four-way where they're not allowed to let each other figure out their secrets. Who knows? There's a lot of intrigue there. I'm going to put it in B because I'm hopeful. Then we've got one called My Master Has No Tail. And this one's about a kitsune, raccoon dog, fox thingy, you know. Or not a kitsune, a Tanuki. That's what it is. Tanuki. Raccoon dog. Yeah, Tanuki. This one seems kind of basic. Just a general little I'm cute and slice of lifey and I'm a Tanuki and I do cute things. There's not a lot you can really get from some of the trailers, but just kind of seems like a odd sort of anime. I'm not that confident in it. For some reason I'm putting it low on the list. I don't know why. I just kind of get the idea that a little bit basic, a little bit not really all that interesting. Next we have C Danshee, Housing Complex C. And this one's weird. It just seems like gore for the sake of gore. Like the entire summary of the anime was, there's this girl with a name, and she lives in this place by the ocean, and in an apartment complex, and weird things happen. It seems supernatural. And it's kind of a really very bare bones summary and doesn't really tell me anything. So I'm just kind of putting it in C because I have no clue. I have no clue about anything. Really, S is kind of up here for Chainsaw Man. A to F is sort of my general idea of where I think things will be. Chainsaw Man's an S just because I know it's going to be good. Like I don't think it's not going to be quite excellent. But some of these other anime I just don't know anything about. Most of these things I've never heard of. It gets very interesting when you're doing anime, and all the new anime are like kind of random. I'm sure some of the people in my audience have heard of it, some of these, but really there's only one that I've actually heard of somewhat prior to looking at the list of them just today. Next we got Play It Cool Guys. Very interesting, very odd. Kind of just looks like a weird anime. I'd say the premise was like, all these guys are attractive, but they're hard to get to know or something like that. And they're all klutzy, so they're cute. So it was a very somewhat incoherent summary. The trailer didn't really give me a lot of information. Just kind of like when you get into these kinds of anime, I basically made it so that anything with over 10,000 plan to watches or already watchings on my anime list, the website, that is sort of the qualifying factor for what gets in here. There were only 22. I figured it's similar to last season where I only did 20. But goodness, this is a weird one. Actually, I'm going to put this in F. It just seemed like if the summary is so incoherent, I don't know if it could be actually all that good. but I could be completely blown out of the water. Who knows? Everything pretty much but Chainsaw Man is a who knows. We've got this one, Love Flops. It's an anime. It seems like it's harem-y. It's about a guy who gets 5 love confessions, and I guess he's got to figure out which one. That's all I know, but that's really all I need to know. Probably going to be good. Probably a B tier. Probably top of B tier, honestly. I don't really know, because goofy harem anime can be good. Sometimes they can be bad, but I kind of feel optimistic about that one. Next, we got Management of a Novice Alchemist, and I really don't have any clue how good this could be, but it just seems like Chores the anime. She goes and does the alchemy things. I'm kind of less inclined to think it's all that good. Gonna put it in D tier because it seems like it's a weird businessy anime, which should be the kind of thing that I like. But instead of cooking up food, if it was a food anime, I'd probably be way more into it. That would really get me going in a certain way. But no, we're gonna watch them do alchemy. They're gonna make potions. Potions aren't yummy. At least I don't think they're yummy. I've never drank one, but I'm not gonna hope too hard with that one. Next, we got this one called Immoral Guild, which is seemingly ecchi, and honestly, I'm not sure if it's gonna be good or not. But kind of a C tier, probably above this one, because I don't really know. Not enough information other than it's ecchi. There's these girls. They're attractive, I guess. There's a guy. He ends up being around all these girls. It's another harem. Big surprise. Another harem anime. We don't know. Will it be good? Maybe not. I kind of feel like it's sort of an on the fence type of one where I'm just like, I'm not sure whether I'd like it or not. Same thing with the soccer one, where I feel like I already understand sports anime a little bit, and I understand that I don't like it. Whereas with this one, I feel like I'd be more inclined, but both of them kind of give me an on the fence vibe. This one looks like it's well animated. This one looks like it could be funny. I feel like this one going into more sort of the humor aspect, ecchi humor, very much up my street, up my alley, etc. Gonna assume that this one is going to be an average kind of anime. Now we got Bibliophile Princess, which, oh my god, this looked awful. These are both awful. It's like the two weirdest anime for basic bitch women, where this one was just kind of, oh, these boys, they're cute. They make weird klutzy mistakes. This one is, oh my goodness, Lord, my lord, I've been studying books this whole time. I'm not into the girlier things. You're going to sweep me off my feet and all that, and it's just kind of like bleh. Like I don't. There's a lot of good fantasy anime, but I think this one's gonna be a bleh. I really don't know. Maybe it could be better. I feel like based on the summary, and this was elegantly written, but bleh, all the same. Now this one, Akiba Made War. This one seems like it could be really good. I saw this. It seems like this one. There are these rival maid cafes, and they were tossing maids out of the tops of buildings. They were just tossing them out. They were having a shootout. It seems like a fun time, just seeing people get shredded. I don't know. Who knows how gory this is gonna be? Who knows how hot and everything this is gonna be? I have no clue. I just know that there are these maids, and they're gonna be a big fight. There's gonna be a big fight with all these maids. I don't know. It's gonna be in a big fight. All this stuff. I don't really know, but it seems like it'd be really interesting. I just was really impressed by the trailer for some reason. Now we have Bochy The Rock, who is not probably a stone. It seems like a band with rock music, and I kind of like the rock music, but I'm not sure if it's going to be really good. So I'm gonna say I'm a little optimistic, but not super optimistic. Bochy The Rock. Not much more to say. It kind of looks like K-On! Kind of reminds me of K-On! So I'm gonna assume it's gonna be like a worst version of K-On! I don't know. We really don't know until we try and watch them and see if they're any good. We got Raven of the Inner Palace. Looks really boring. But maybe it's good, actually. Who knows? I'm going to put it at the back of C, because at the very least, could be as interesting as the horror one. Who knows? Not really one to judge. This one didn't really give me a lot of information. The trailer was in Japanese. They didn't really have a lot of subtitles for a lot of these ones, so just kind of going off of basic instincts at this point. It looks too refined and feel like it would have a pretty in-depth story, which my which my dumb high IQ is never going to be able to follow because I'll get bored and I'll just want to watch the harem anime or the maid violence anime or something else that just seems funny or cute or something like that. Too elegant for me. Probably going to be good. Who knows? Next, we've got DIY. Do it yourself. There's an anime about people who do projects. In those projects, they're going to do by themselves. They're not going to have construction companies do whatever. They're just going to make weird projects. It seems like another Chores the anime. So I'm going to throw it back in the pile with Chores the anime. But at the very least, this one seems a little bit more interesting. I mean, just alchemy is just alchemy. Could be really boring. At least this one would probably be somewhat interesting. Could be a little comedic, watching people fumble around with tools. That's always funny. And now we have more than a married couple, but not lovers. And honestly, this one seems odd. Like, the premise was a really interesting thing. This whole high school has people live together, but under surveillance for a grade, try and learn how to live together with people. And this girl and this one guy end up wanting to be with the people that they like, their crushes. They don't get put together, but they're trying to do something incredible to be in the top categories and be able to actually switch their partners. I think this is a very odd premise. It feels weird. It's just kind of like a odd way we do school in this way and all that stuff. And really, I'm not sure. Not really sure. Could be good. Probably not like Dropout. Dunno. Gonna put it in B because it sounds really interesting. Shoot, what am I talking about? I'll put it in A because this sounds like it could be very, very interesting. Who knows? The premise, honestly, was good enough. I didn't even need to know any background about the two characters. The basic premise made me very interested just immediately. Especially if you consider that high school students living together, very different. College students often live together. High school students, kind of odd. I mean, they're not that far apart in age, not that far apart in maturity. Really, Japanese high school students are probably way more mature than American college students, but who knows? Could be great, could be not. Who knows? This is all first impressions, and I think honestly this goes up with maid combat. Next we have I've somehow gotten stronger because I improved all my farming skills, which actually sounds really dumb and boring and like Chores the anime, but seems like it could be an even better version of Harvest Moon because there's romance. There's a guy who farms, and he's really good at it, and he goes into combat. I guess more sort of a rune factory, really, than Harvest Moon. But this could be really interesting. I'm very hopeful, and I'm going to put it in upper B tier, because for all I know, this could be a really funny little, odd, quirky anime. And we have Beast Tamer, which seems like a dude who likes animals, and people tell him he's not good, because all he does is like animals and is really good with animals, but he's going to prove them wrong. Put it in C. Put it in maybe upper C. Could be good. And going back to anime, I feel like I've already heard of before. I'm a villainess, so I'm going to tame the final boss and other stuff. And this just sounds like my life as a villainess, but the same basic premise. Girl gets reincarnated into game where she plays a lot of otome games, and she gets put into an otome game, but she's the villain. Oh! I'm going to throw this one in the B tier, because honestly, it could be good. If they're just trying to copy off of it. That was a good anime. The My Life as a Villainess, whatever, flag game, otome thing. Probably could be good. Probably could be bad. Who knows? Nah, I don't know. I think I'd actually put it in C tier. For one of our last ones, we have Ursei Yatsura, and this is an anime that existed apparently back in the 80s, and could be really good. They're just kind of redoing an old anime. They do that sometimes, and I think it could be good. Honestly, I don't know enough about it, but I'm kind of hopeful in a way. I'd say it deserves A tier just because established anime, probably pretty good story, pretty hopeful. Even though this sort of blurs the line as far as what I'm allowing in this tier list, the criteria really are, it's not related to another anime. And even further than it's not related to another anime, cannot be a second season, cannot be that well closely tied to another anime. I did have some that are like not really offshoots but sort of exists in the same universe, and that's fine, but if it's too related to another anime, it's not something you can begin with episode 1, quite frankly, without watching the other material first. So this is a remake. I'll put it in new anime list. That's fine. Probably going to be good. Who knows? I certainly don't, because I wasn't around when that thing was originally made, and I've never seen it. Shinobi no Itoki, ninja, action, battle. Kinda lame, maybe? I don't know. It's called Shinobi no Itoki, but ninjas, actions, battles, whatever. Didn't really give me a whole lot other than that, even with the trailer. I would stick it towards the lower C tier because I'm just not sure. It could be good. Looks like it could have decent animation, but not much to say on that. It's odd because some of these don't really give me a whole lot of context, but then some of them give me a lot of context. Now I've got Reincarnated as a sword, and I don't really know that much because I sort of paid halfway attention to this trailer, but it seems like this girl, she got reincarnated. She uses a sword. She does it to attack. She's kind of little, goes flying everywhere, attacks with a sword. I think it's decent seeming. I'd say it's at least probably a B, but maybe not too much higher than that. I don't really know because it doesn't really give me Rising of the Shield Hero vibes, so it might not be that good. Kind of a base take. I think Rising of the Shield Hero is great. No kind of apologist anime with that, but very good seeming anime. Hopefully this could be a semblance, small little iota of as good as Rising of the Shield Hero. Who knows? And now for the last one on the list, The Eminence in Shadow. Just kind of seemed a little odd and random, and not a whole lot to it. The whole trailer was in Japanese. I didn't really understand anything. I'm just going to assume based on the animation, and this is really sometimes, you just kind of look at it, you got to eyeball it, you got to go on instinct. I'm going to say above most things, not above the soccer. And that's where I'll put that. And I feel like this is pretty good tier list, pretty balanced. Kind of just initial opinions, but who knows? For all I know, these anime will be really crappy, and these anime all in here will be really good. I really can't know, but this is sort of like the last time I did an anime tier list like this. My other impressions tier list for summer 2022. Still working on the final video for that little series, but been kind of busy, moving, going to weddings, things like that. Getting new jobs, quitting old jobs, all that kind of stuff. Been trying to finish all of the anime from last season so I can make that final tier list. But essentially in that one, it goes from things really surprising me to things really not surprising me. And it's kind of interesting to see where things line up when you kind of look at anime from a basic perspective. I don't know anything about almost any of these. And this one, all I know it's an established 80s anime. This is the only thing I know about. And Chainsaw Man sounds really, really good. And pretty much everyone thinks so. So it's probably actually going to be pretty decent. Not a lot of debate on that one. But everything else, not all that clear cut. So the other 21 anime, who knows? We'll figure it out in the future. So will all these anime be good? Will they be bad? Will they be mediocre? Will all of my opinions be completely wrong by my own standards in just several weeks? Who knows? But only time will tell. And if you're watching this later on, maybe you'll already know. But if you want to see more of this kind of content, you can like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Also, if you are so inclined, you can follow me on twitter.com/proantagonist2 for future updates, since I can't do community posts to this channel yet. And if you are feeling so generous, you can go to my Patreon and check out the Patreon tiers. Shout out to my patrons, the absolute Giga Chad levels at the highest tiers thus far. We have Scardon Queen and Rebecca M. See you guys in several weeks with the next line of all of my takes on all of these anime, once I've actually watched them.